Arguably one of the most exciting specs you can play in Season of Discovery is Rogue Tank. Yes, that's right, as rogues, we can now tank, and I'm going to be taking you through absolutely everything you need to know to succeed. Before we get started, I do just want to say most of you guys are not subscribed. Please do click that button down below because it helps me more than you know and enables me to keep putting out all of these guides to help you guys out. You can also join my Discord where we have a lot of other Season of Discovery and retail players also playing. First off, the question is, what race do we actually want to play as? Now, if you are a Alliance, I would go with human for their increased sword bonus, or there is Night Elves for the increased dodge chance. I do think, however, that if you are Horde, the one and only option is going to be Orc for their increased resistance to stun effects, something that rogues are otherwise very vulnerable to. Before we actually look at what juicy gear we're going to want to get our hands on, let's look at the stat priorities we're going to be looking for as a rogue tank in Season of Discovery. Number one is going to be stamina. This is going to increase your health. Next up is agility, which is going to increase your dodge chance. Then we're going to want to get our cap of 9% hit rating. Of course, at number 4, it's going to be dodge and parry. We are a tank after all. Still can't believe it as a rogue. And last but not least is going to be attack power. So what gear are we actually going to be looking for? Well, first with the shoulders, these are BOE, Mantle of Thieves, perfect for a rogue. This is from Razor Friend Crawl, which is actually a level 30 dungeon, so this could prove difficult to get your hands on, or it may end up expensive in the auction house. Nevertheless, though, this is one of the best pieces we can get. Then we've got Humbert's Helm, which is from the Elite Dwarves in Hillsbrad Foothills. Can only be obtained by Horde players, however, because they are actually friendly if you are Alliance. Speaking of Alliance versus Horde, we've got the Rune of Duty. This is from the Warsong Reputation and can be bought from either party, Alliance, or Horde. Very, very useful. And last but not least, one of the other really important ones I would say to try and get is going to be the Wolf Claw Gloves. These are actually from Razor Friend Crawl as well, and therefore could be difficult to obtain, but again, they are BOE. So if you don't want to risk it yourself, maybe somebody else will, and they'll just be lying around on the auction house for you to snap up. What runes are we then going to put on this gear? Well, these are the 3 that I would personally recommend. The middle one first is Blade Dance. Now, if you are familiar with Rogue, you know that you have combo points and energy. You basically use your combo point builders and then you use finishing moves to spend those combo points. Well, Blade Dance is a finishing move that's going to spend your combo points, and this is going to increase your parry chance. Depending on how many points you spend, so let's imagine we're using all 5 combo points, it's going to be 30 seconds and 10% parry, and you're pretty much going to want to use this on cooldown. As a tank, this is going to be phenomenal. Then we've got just a Flesh Wound. You're going to take reduced damage while Blade Dance is active, the one we've just went over. You're going to take 6% less chance to be critted against, so somebody critting you, and it's a massive threat increase. And your feint ability is now going to turn into an ability called Tease, and this is actually your taunt as a rogue tank. Then we've got Main Gauche. This is going to increase your parry chance, so is really the only rune that we can put on here that is actually going to help, well, with tanking, to be honest. It's going to strike with your offhand weapon, increase your parry chance by 10% for 10 seconds, and it is going to award a combo point as well. I will also say that it does actually benefit from any talents or abilities, etc., that do also benefit your Sinister Strike. This here is the talent build I would recommend. We're going to put our first 2 points into improved Sinister Strike. Remember, the Main Gauche ability rune is actually going to benefit from these, and this one is going to reduce the energy cost of your Sinister Strike by 5. Then on the right of the combat, we've got Lightning Reflexes. This is a 5% dodge chance, of course, very, very useful as a tank. On the second row, we've got Deflection in the middle. Again, this is going to give you a 5% parry chance, very useful for a tank. We're going to put 1 point into Precision. This is going to increase your chance to hit by 1%. And then on the last row, we've got Endurance, which is going to reduce the cooldown of your sprint and evasion abilities by 1.5 minutes overall. And our last point going into riposte, which is a strike that becomes active after parrying an opponent's attack. This attack is going to deal 150% weapon damage and is going to disarm your opponent. So that is the talent build we're going to go with, all into combat as a tank in Season of Discovery. Of course, then let's see how it all comes together, and we're going to put it into the actual rotation that we are going to be using. So to start off, how are we going to generate our combo points as a rogue? Well, we're going to be using our Sinister Strike, and this is pretty much going to be our filler combo point generator. And then our main gauche, which is the rune, remember, that we're going to be getting. This one is going to be the main one that we're going to keep up as much as possible and keep it on cooldown as our combo point generator. So basically, use main gauche as much as possible, and then use your Sinister Strike as a filler combo point generator. For the combo point spender, then, we are going to be using our Blade Dance. And remember, this is the rune that is going to give us that increased, if we use it at 5 combo points, 10% parry chance for 30 seconds. If an enemy does manage to get away from you out of your clutches, don't forget that we do now have Tease once we've got that rune that's going to transform our feint ability, and Tease is going to be our taunt as a rogue tank. At first, I would say that with Blade Dance, the parry chance combo spender, to just use it at like maybe 1 or 2 points when you're going into combat, just to get it up, so that you're not waiting as you're generating those combo points to, you know, get to the full 5. So get it up for a few seconds with 1 or 2 combo points, and then I would say keep refreshing it at 5 combo points, if that makes sense, just to make sure that it's up for as long as possible. If you do pick engineering, we do actually have something called solid dynamite, which literally allows you to throw dynamite into a group or a single enemy, and you can use this on pull if you are an engineer, because as a rogue, we're not really going to have any AoE abilities, and this would actually give us an AoE. So again, I think engineering is always going to be the top profession for Season of Discovery Phase 1. And if you are looking at other consumables, as well as your dynamite, well, whether or not you're using dynamite, there's the free action potion. This is really good against bosses or any enemies that have stuns. This is basically going to make you immune to those effects. We then have the elixir of lesser agility. It's going to give you 8 agility for 1 entire hour. We do have Facility. That's right, we still have it back in Classic. Facility is going to regenerate 100 energy for you. It's on a 5-minute cooldown. This is obviously fantastic for rogues. And last but not least is going to be Elixir of Fortitude, which is going to be very useful as a tank. If you don't know what this one does, it's going to increase your maximum health by 120 for 1 hour as well. And that is pretty much it. One last thing I would say is if you're looking at getting a profession, engineering is the way to go. So far in all of my research for all of the classes, which by the way, I have actually done, so make sure you subscribe and check out my other videos, engineering has always seemed to be the best one to go with. And that is it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Again, I do have other guides and for retail as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and you can also join my Discord where we have a lot of other players playing Season of Discovery.